Britain has a very strong role in this. I mean, it should set an example. You know, why do we have to wait until fisheries become extinct? Why don't we set an example to the world in terms of you know, sustainable fishing? We'll benefit. Everyone will benefit at the end of the day. So you know, it's a win-win if you know, if huge fisheries can recover because they've got a place to recover, like, you know, the 30% of the seas that are untouched. But it will need to be policed. You know, there are countries you can't trust to do this really, and so it's an international problem which Britain can lead on. You know, moral leadership. Let's have some for a change.
The only issue with policing the sea zones goes back to, isn't the UNCLOS, was it United Nations Convention on Law of the Sea? You're supposed to, there's wording in there, isn't there? You're supposed to let free passage of all vessels that aren't within 12 miles of your sovereign territory.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, the world has got very organized and lots of other things and can do the same thing. You can easily see if a trawler has got its nets out in a marine protected area.
Yeah, sure.
And all of the navies around the world should be policing this really, because the important thing is, the key thing is, it's you know, it relates to us. The balance of any ecosystem, it's been balanced for probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, evolved to this point. And if we're going to take out one huge chunk of it, i.e. the main predators in the food chain, everything will change. And you know, we need to keep the balance from the point of CO2, and just for sustaining the protein that comes from the sea is going to be quite important. So if you don't have the top predators, you're going to have huge impacts on all the other organisms in the ecosystem. And you know, we're seeing things now with beavers being introduced, as the benefits that they've had. You know, once you start taking these things out of, particularly the top predators in an ecosystem, once you start playing around with it, it gets out of control, and then you never know where it's going to end up, and it's not going to end up particularly well for humans at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If we go back to the fish farming, you know, why can't we just sustainably fish instead of having to have all this artificial fishery? Gain more fish. We've lost more fish in tonnages with the extinctions that we've brought about by overfishing than we gain by aquaculture with fish farming.
That is, I mean, it's astonishing really, isn't it? But also I heard that, I don't know if you think it's too late, because I heard that the larger predators in the ocean are infertile now, are they not? Certainly the killer whales was the study, I think the main study, that the higher up the food chain you go, I've forgotten what it was, maybe plastics, and they've become infertile. So I mean, is it not already gone past that stage, and now we're going to have to think of something even beyond that?
Yeah, I think I'm quite optimistic that we can do things. You know, I mean, if we can send a Voyager to Mars and all the rest of it, I think we can come up with solutions. But a lot of this is historical pollution and pollution that's going on at the moment through all the rivers. You know, you're talking about a lot of toxics are going out there, DDT, dioxins. You know, there's heavy metals. Plastics play an important part, and you know, again, let's be selfish and think about humans. You know, male fertility has been dropping. You know, sperm counts have been dropping for men for a number of years now, and it's associated, we think, with the amount of plastic that's going into the environment, and also, you know, female hormones. Men are becoming more feminized, I think, because of this, and it's affecting sperm production. And you know, even if you don't believe that, we should have a precautionary principle and just try and stop this thing happening, stop all these poisons happening. I mean, they're going to cause a problem somewhere. I mean, we're in a food chain. We're not isolated from everything else that gets dumped into the sea. So we should be cognizant of that, really.
Yeah, no, I know. I know around here they have a problem with mercury in shellfish in the rivers around here. They've got the
Really?
crayfish because they release the sewage. I think I've said this in previous episodes. They release the sewage just up the road. I mean, within walking distance from here, there's one plant, and they release it directly into the river when the water levels are high enough. And that, I don't know how it works or how it's got in there originally, but I think it's through medicines probably that pass through
Mm,
people. And then obviously the shellfish being eating everything, especially other
yeah,
aquatic life, it builds up in them because it doesn't leave, does it? And it builds up in their system. So when you eat them, it can actually give yourself mercury poisoning from shellfishing around here.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
that
for the same reason, we're only encouraged by the government to eat no more than 2 oily fish a week.
yeah, sure.